Hey everybody, so let's show you how to make those decisions for round 6. Alright, so here we go. As we take a look, I've already made some decisions. I've changed so you can see up in the top right hand corner of the screen. Let's take a look at that. Last round, Able was at 6.5 and 13.5. So I've almost bumped it up 10. I couldn't get it all the way. I wanted to have it done before the end of the year. And you know what, looking back, it was kind of my own fault for not making an adjustment. I should have scheduled an adjustment to take place at the end of last round. That way, because I didn't adjust it at all last round, and I should have. I should have made it so it adjusted in December, which would have left me at the end of the year with about a 2-year-old part instead of a 4-year-old part. So now, because I was dumb, it's going to be 5 years old by the time there is a correction made, which is really bad. It's really bad. It actually puts it behind the time. Another bad thing about it is our automation is at 10, which means it takes forever to make a change. So what I've done is I put 7.3 and 12.7. That is the hot spot for that product come December 31st, which is the end of this year, which means it has to age a whole nother year to be 5 years old. The only positive thing is next round, when the part comes out at 2.5 years old, it's actually going to be 2.6 years old on January the 31st, or on December 31st, it's going to be 2.6 years old. So it's almost going to be perfect as far as age goes for next round. But this run, I'm not even going to push trying to take market share this round. That would be a bad idea. In my opinion, it would be a bad idea. Because it's a gentrified product, really. So, but we're going to keep it up. We should still be able to sell quite a bit because we do have the MTBFs were at 20,000, which is high. We're going to knock it down to 19.7 to save some money. That's all we're doing it for, just save a little bit of money. And if you look at the other products that are available out there, they're kind of doing the same thing. Some people are overdoing it, like Days and Delta down here. Let me show you. Right here, see, they're putting it at 20,500, and I think what they're trying to do is trying to cover both the high end and the low end markets, which is it's not good. I mean, they've worked up to this point where they haven't really lost a ton, and I think their whole strategy is don't lose our butts. However, they're going to lose market share, and this is why we're going to come out with another high-end product. And I thought long and hard, what should I do? Should I bounce down a high-tech product down to the low-tech market, which I could do with Amoeba? It would cost quite a bit. So I thought, better than that, better than knocking it down and making it low-tech and making it age over the last 3 rounds of the game, or 2 rounds of the game, because once this one's up, we only have 2 more rounds, really. We have one more round of decisions. Because you don't get to make a decision on round 8. So we got this round and next round. So I figured, okay, we've got market share in the high tech. And I'm making about $18 per product on the high tech market, about $20 on the low tech. So it would make more money if I was on the low tech. I would get more market share if I was on the low tech. Let's steal high market share as much as possible. So I've also looked to see how many people have low-tech products. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many high-tech products? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 10 low-tech, 8 high-tech. That means there's more market share for me to gain in the high tech than there is in the low tech. I hope you're understanding the what I'm saying here. In the low tech market, let me show you. We're already at 20%. There are 6 teams, and we're at 20% of the market share. As I did my analysis, I showed that Chester, it's showing that they're going to gain a 5%, taking some of that from us, but that's not going to happen only because Crazy does not have the capacity. Right here, they do not have the capacity to produce the amount of numbers that they need to gain that market share. So this round, they won't have it for sure. They're going to have 2 low-tech products, so I know they'll take market share next time. So what I have to do is I have to take advantage of having the high-tech. They think we're going to take 5 to 6% of the high-tech market. I say absolutely. We'll take advantage of that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So let's see here. They're saying we're going from 30.4 to 36.9. So we're taking 6.5% of the market share. As far as they're concerned, we're going from 19% to Chester's 24. They're saying Chester's going to get 7%. That's not going to happen because of the capacity. It just cannot happen. Sure, they'll get some with crazy, but they're not going to get 13%. They're going to get this 3.5% again, which means they're going to end up with, let's see, they're saying cake is going to go down. No, they're going to end up with 24% again. I'm going to end up with 19% again. All these people are going to have the same percentages. The only difference is I'm going to get the high-tech market. I'm actually going to steal high-tech market. This is fantastic because it costs more. And so this is what we got to do. When you know you're going to take the high-tech market, as I've pointed out, I've got my products all lined up so that March, I've got a product that's on the leading edge. May, I've got a product that's beyond the leading edge. In September, I've got another product beyond the leading edge. Now, it doesn't look like it, but at the time of the date that it comes out, it is ahead of the leading edge. Abe Lincoln is coming out in September, but it is set for, let me show you over here on the bottom corner in the right. So as it's coming out in September, which is right here, 11.4 and 8.6, I'm increasing the performance to next round's level. So 11.7, 8.3. You know why? I won't have to make a very big change next time. I could make it say 11.8, 8.2, which would make it change probably in like March next time. So I could make a quick change, stay on the high tech, cut the age in half again, and be on the leading edge to sell a lot more parts. So I have 4 products that are going to be on the leading edge at various times. So I said, you know what, screw the low tech. I'll give that over to them. I'm still going to sell as many this time as I thought. It says I would lose 2%. If all I lost was 2%, let's take a look. 2%, that's 160 parts. That's it. So I lose $320,000. But on the high tech, if I'm gaining 6% market share, especially because I'm selling out another product and I'm 6%, that's 300 parts that I'm going to be selling. It's 300 parts more. That means I'm going to be profiting more. You know, that's almost 600,000. So I'm losing about 300,000 the time after this round. Not this round, I'll get it, but the time after this round. So I'm actually gaining $250,000 or $1/3 at least from how I gather. Quick math. I could sit down and kind of try to figure it out. All right, let's take a look at here. Sales budget. Why am I bumping my sales budget up? Still high. Let's take a look at the numbers here. I'm at 100% customer awareness. So I don't need to spend any more than 1.4 million. That keeps it at 100%. Sales budget, I'm at 84%. I want that 100% customer accessibility. If I can maintain that, that makes it easier for me to maintain the market share that I do have, which right now is just about 20%. It says that I sold 1.6. Look down here. It says it's all forecasted to be low tech. If I say, if I sold 1.6, actually, let me show you that. That says 1.598. Some of it sold on the high-tech market. So 1.630, 1630. So we got 1630 times 1.1. So I should be able to sell 1,793 parts. So I went 7 more. Why did I go 7 more? Well, because crazy is not going to do so well. I mean, they're going to have it up 360. That's the most they can do. So they're going to sell 40 more. I think I can hold on to that. I'm okay leaving a couple inventory on there. So I'm going to make it 1,800 to make it even for projection. I think it's going to be really close. For these other 3, why are they all at 800? Well, they're all on the leading edge at different parts of the year. This one here, Abe Lincoln, the promo budget is higher because it's still new. So let's take a look at that one. I love the names of our products, by the way. Let's see. Abe Lincoln, Abe Lincoln. All right, so Abe Lincoln is at 48%. Okay, so look at this. So we're at 48 and Hanoi is at 55. So had we had enough parts, they actually would have been right up here underneath Amoeba as the December customer survey. They would have been in the top 3 parts that would have sold. Because a lot of times, as long as you have the parts, the ones with the highest customer survey are the ones that sell the most. So if I sold out at 770, my Atlanta, I mean, I should be able to do this for higher than 800, but this is why I chose 800. If I have they're projecting 36.9% of the market with 5,375 units in the market. Well, that's not how many are going to be available next time. It's going to be 20% of that. So 5,375 times 1.2, that's 20%. That's 6,450 parts times 0.369 is 36.9%. So that means I'm going to have 2,380 parts that I can sell. 2,380 divided by 3 parts, 3 products, that's 793 each. I bump it up to 800 to make it even. I think I'll sell more than that because I've got really high MTBFs. I have prices that are decent. I think I lowered Amoeba a little bit. Let's take a look. Not there. Sorry, a little bit more. So Amoeba, I had it for sale for $42.09 last time. Oh, I bumped it up. I want to get a little bit of profit out of it. I noticed that everybody else in the high market, look at that, 44 bucks, 43, 43, 45. So I don't need to undercut them so much. I can go ahead and bump it up a little bit to 42.50. I think I cut it down like $2 last time. I kept them way up high. Automation last time, 3.5, 2.0, 2.5. You're going to see me change that this round because I want to make more money per product. That's how you make your profit up higher. Okay, so here we go. I don't need to make as much product because I have product on hand. I will sell the 1800, I think, or I'll come very close to it. I may be within 50, and that's okay. But not 500. 500 is bad. That's why I got an emergency loan. So I should be able to sell 1800. Amoeba, 810, 810, 810. So I'm overproducing a little bit, so I can have like 10, 10, 10, or 20, 20, 20, or something like that. A little bit of product left over is better than selling out. Okay, it's better to have 1 product left over than 0 products left over. So having 10, I think that's a good cushion. It's kind of what I did last time and I ended up selling out anyway. Our turnover rate is going down 6.1%. New employees 46. We still have to hire more people this year than last year. Obviously, there are going to be some people that leave the company every year. Productivity is high. Training hours is good. Recruiting spending is high. Some other things that we did this time, I bumped down the accounts payable down to 5 days. Look at my automation. I'm creating 450 capacity for the next round. Abe Lincoln is getting 250. Why? Because I want to get that capacity up where you can sell 810. Same thing with Hanoi. Try to get that up. And I bumped up capacity or automation at 1.5, 3, 5. I bumped it up 5 on this one. It happens to be my most profitable one because that's the one I sell for $44 and change, $44.38 last time. Okay, so because that's my most profitable one, I want to go ahead and give it the most automation. It's my newest one. The next one I have 2.0. I could start that off much higher, but usually the newest products come out and they don't sell as much as products that have been around and have the customer awareness and all that. So that's the strategy on having that be at 2 instead of 1. Make it a little bit cheaper, but still have 450. And then let's take a look here and see this complement number. If I change that, it's going to lower the productivity. It's going to raise the turnover rate. And I've done that in the past. But really, we're not spending a whole lot on admin costs now that we've done TQM. Let's take a look at our finance, see what I've done. All right, so here we got a total investments of 37 million, price per share 49.3, total stock issued 19 million. I'm not going to issue any stock. I'm going to retire every bit that I can. Get rid of that stock, make it all ours. Look at that, 1.4%. The smaller that sliver, the higher our stock price, and we are being graded on that. Interest rate 9.9. Well, that's better than 11.3, except that I got to pay it back sooner. I'm taking out $8 million. Why? I want to have plenty of money in the bank just in case my numbers are off by a little bit. But at the same time, I want to retire that stock. It's not going to hurt me to borrow this money. I'll show you in a second. As far as long-term debt, I'm taking out $22,500,000. If they're going to offer it to me, I'm going to take it. Let's see here. This debt, I probably could close this out and, pay off some of that, but I'm not going to. Look at that. That's going to be paid off first, 2023, which is this round, it looks like, I believe. It's a 12% interest, so once we pay that off, that will save us some monies. But you can see these interest rates are changing. Other teams have gotten lower interest rates because their credit ratings have been better than ours. Had we not stocked out this last time, I bet our rating would have been higher. Okay, so we've seen finance. We got $7.3 million sitting there, so we don't get an emergency loan. We've really put a lot of money in everything. We're borrowing a lot of money. Let's take a look at TQM. This is something that's really funny. Look what I put in. I put 1. Now here it says is to get the highest limits as soon as possible. You'd spend $750,000 one year, $750,000 the next year, and $500,000 the next year, which we've done. Last round was the $500,000. Then it says there's also a threshold of $250,000 before an initiative shows a meaningful return. If you budget for an initiative, the investment should be at least $250,000. Well, let's take a good look. I've already put in the $2 million, which means we've hit the max. But I want to show you some numbers. Let's put in here zeros. And watch these numbers. From 12.5, 15.6, all this. Boom. That's the best case that we can get, is an increase of that much. So that blows. Let's put in 250. All right, so we put that in, we recalculate. So we bump up 1.5, 2 and a bit, 4 and a bit, 4 and a bit, 1 and a bit. But if you remember what I had when I first came in here, I hope you remember these numbers. You can always look back, you can rewind a little bit and see what happens. Watch these numbers. So 12.8, 15.9, 44.8, 64.8. 64.8 still the same. 44.8 still the same. This is best case scenario. Now this worst case. The worst case does not change. So what I say is, let's spend $10,000 and get this possible best case. I mean, I could put in 10, and maybe that would do. We could put in the 250,000, but really at that point, I think we're just wasting money because technically we've put in everything they've told us we're allowed to put in to get the maximum return. And so by putting in the ones and just possibly getting that we're just $10,000, which is nothing compared to the whole scheme of things. Hey, you know what? If we get a bump, look what would happen. Let's go back there. Let's look what happened. We need our admin costs to go down. Material and labor. So reduction in cost of goods for the year just ended. We have a reduction of 13.57. There's 13.53. 11.27 for material. 11.35 for material. That's because they didn't fill it all the way. So we have the best right now. They're going to put in all the money they need for this round, which is going to give them, basically the same competitive advantage we have. So if we can put in $10,000 and get any of this best case scenario, any of this increase, then it's going to put us ahead of them. It really will. So here's the increase for last year. One other thing that I did, I don't think I showed you. I changed our accounts receivable again. So now we're at 60 days. 60 days and 5 days for accounts payable. I don't know what would happen if I changed accounts receivable at this point down to say 30. I think what would happen is my demand would just flat out drop and we'd lose a lot of profit is my bet. So I'm going to leave it at 60. Next round, I'm thinking about bumping it up to 90. If I bump it up to 90, That would be very interesting. We'd probably profit a bit from that. We'd get a lot more demand, or some more demand. Okay. And at some point, it's not worth it to bump it up anymore. So we might just leave it at 60. I'll compare between 60 and 90 as far as the profitability. But let's take a look at our pro forma, because I don't want to let you go before we do that. Sorry, it's been 20 minutes. Stock price, 8. Profits, 9. Leverage, 8. Perfect score. Contribution margin, plant utilization, working capital, all that. Perfect score. Customer buying criteria, 4.9. Product count, 3.8. Employee turnover, can't get it down to the 4% on my own. It says 97.3. That is the highest that I could get it to say. 97.3. Bam. Now down here below, we've had an emergency loan. We've now had it twice. So you know what? We're pretty much screwed in that regard. It's been more than the 1% in emergency loan. So we have lost those points forever. As far as our sales, our market cap, operating profit, those are numbers that are still coming up. The last couple of rounds, these numbers should increase dramatically. So 163 out of 240, I think we're still doing really well in the whole game overall. We're already got our profits per employee over $100,000 per employee, and that will increase dramatically too. Okay. So hopefully you learned something from this, from me making these decisions. I'm making these videos for you guys to learn from, and I hope you enjoyed. Until next round.